Hey y'all, I'm back at it again with another video. So I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all like I do sometimes outside of like my how-to videos and stuff. So I was thinking about like what should I call these, like a hey y'all, what's up, or can we talk, or let me tell you, what happened to me, or or God moments. That sound like that might be good, but I'm gonna continue to think about it, pray about it, come up with some names. But in the meantime, this is a God moment like that I had happen to me a few days ago. I was out and about, and y'all know how you be out and about in your day or whatever, and y'all let me know, do y'all be having these God moments? Like, I'm pretty sure you do. The ones that like sure enough stick with you and have you thinking about, what happened and what God said, and sometimes to the point where you feel like, let me write this down because I don't want to forget it. And this was the case for me. Like, I wanted to write it down. I had to write it down so I wouldn't forget it. So I thought about sharing it that night, but I was like, back and forth, and I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So the God moment that I had was somebody was talking about their no. Like, every time I go to do something, like a certain thing or whatever, or certain things, they don't work out, If I do it, it doesn't work out, or I wind up getting set back, or it turns out really bad, Why can everybody else do it? Everybody else is doing it and nothing happens to them, but when I do it, something happens to me. Like, I gotta get the short end of the stick, in so many words. And I was like, oh my gosh, like God's spirit had just quickened me, and just touched bases with mine. And he was like, no is a good thing in certain cases. Like, no is grace. Y'all know that a grace period is an allotted amount of time that you're given to, make amends. So like, basically, when you got to pay a bill, you have a grace period. They give you a certain amount of time so that you can pay your bill. And so in the natural, so in the spirit. I used to hear, my first lady say that all the time. So in the natural, so in the spirit. So spiritually, we have been given this, spiritually, we've been given this grace that is so big, and it's unimaginable how much grace that God has given us. But when you look at it, it is for a purpose. It's not for us to do what it is that we want to do. It is for us to keep our minds focused on what we owe God. Like, we owe God us. We owe God our lives. Those who are choosing and those who have chosen to serve him and to have him as Lord and, King of your life, we owe him. So it's like he gives us time to get ourselves in a place where we can be readily available for him. So during this grace period, of course he's not going to let you do whatever it is you want to do. Even though when we hear grace, it's like a yes, yes, yes. When you hear grace, all these yeses are in grace. You know what I mean? But God had revealed that to me, like, no is a part of grace. Wait is a part of grace. Some things you might do and God shut it down. It'll make you cry. It'll make you get upset. You won't even understand why me? Because the purpose that's on your life is not meant for you to, in so many words, screw it up. Like, God don't want us to screw up this time that he has given us. He don't want us to put ourselves in a position where we can't maximize the time. You know what I mean? Like, we got to maximize the time. So when you look at your no, God was letting me see that give God glory for your no. Give God glory that it didn't work out. Can you imagine? And I was thinking about that, and he was just allowing me to see it. Like, can you imagine if God said yes to some things that I really wanted to do? If he said yes to some things that you really wanted to do, can you imagine if God went ahead and put his stamp of approval on some of these things that we wanted to do? And we know some of these things were undermining and, crooked, you know what I mean? And mean, and the purpose behind it was just not right. And we doing all of this in our allotted grace time. You understand? So it's like, and even some good things, some things that we set out to do that were good, you know what I'm saying? In this allotted time of grace. And God was like, no, or wait. You know what I'm saying? So it's like taking grace and taking everything that comes along with grace. It's like just being thankful for it, just being, grateful and accepting your no. When you get the no, I know they say we can't ask God why, but you can. You can say, God, you told me no. So is it something that I've done? Is it something that you don't want me to get caught up in? Is it something that I need to know? Because he always wants us to get what we need and get an understanding. So this no, y'all, this no is grace. Your no that you might be facing right now is grace. The weight that you might have to be in right now is grace. All of it is grace, not just yes. A yes doesn't sum up grace. Grace is for us to get ourselves in a place where we can be able to render what is due. And we will be continually rendering what is due. Just like in real life, when you have to pay your bills, you are continuously rendering what is due. You are continuously paying your light bill, paying your water bill, paying your mortgage, your rent, your car note, your insurance. If you got kids, taking care of your kids, making sure they got something to eat, clothes, schooling. We are consistently and continuously rendering what is due. And in that rendering that we do on a day-to-day basis, there's grace periods in it, because they understand that sometimes you might need time. You know what I mean? You might not be able to pay on time, so you need time. And so God gives us a huge, unsurmountable amount of time, because he knows that sometimes we ain't gonna be able to make do when it's due. So what you do with your grace is very important. What you do with your time in this grace period. So let me, take that, and rephrase it. So what you do with your time in this grace period, God is concerned about. So yes, he will tell you no in the midst of grace. Yes, he will tell you to wait in the midst of grace, because he wants you to be able to render what is due. Render means pay up, give it. So I just wanted to get on here and tell you that. And I was so encouraged by the conversation. And I even went into prayer for the person, because, they did seem a little frustrated. And so God had gave me a little word to give them in the moment, and I was nervous, but I just obeyed. And they received it, and I give God glory for it. And I still yet prayed that they think about what God was telling them in that moment. But we're so special that he will tell us no. We are so special that he will tell us wait. We are so special, you know what I'm saying, that we get yeses. The message that we are, we get a yes, you know what I'm saying? But be thankful for the no in the grace period, and rethink your motive, and rethink your plan, you know what I'm saying? Because we know that the plan in spirit is to obey God, be obedient to him, give him what he asks for, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be time, whether it be, to go and help somebody else, or give, or whatever it is. We have been given the grace to get ourselves in a place, to do that. And so this grace time, no is in it. No is in it. Wait is in it. So I just want to get on here and talk to y'all a little bit about that, and encourage y'all, and have y'all to, tell God, thank you. God, you said no. I got in trouble when I tried to do it. You know what I'm saying? God, I thank you. You keeping me from something. You're protecting me, because you have plans for me. It's stuff I got to do, and I can't get caught up, tangled up, tied up in anything that will, have me out of your will. So you guys be blessed. And thank God for your no. Thank God for your wait. Ultimately, you already know we thank God for grace. So no is grace. Wait is grace. We all know yes is grace. You understand? So y'all be blessed, and y'all continue to encourage each other. And if you want to share it with somebody, because somebody might be going through and they might not understand what is happening in their life, why they have a no. when they know God is so good. So you guys take care and be blessed.